Howdy, folks, and welcome to Moose Podcast number 359. A Professional Is. I want to thank you folks for dropping by. I want to reach out to my friends in the great white north up there in Canada who are dealing now in the northwest with some incredibly horrible fires around Yellowknife, as well as those folks over on the island. I mean, it's that wildfire stuff. It's scary as it can be. And, well, if you can do anything to help any of these folks, I want to encourage you to do whatever you can, no matter how little you think it might be. Sometimes just letting people know you care can make a big difference. So I want to thank everybody for taking time to stop on by. I really hope that what I have to offer does help you along as well in your photographic career. You guys have had some really great questions and emails this week, so I want to thank you for those correspondence. A couple of you goes back to a decade, and it's great to hear from you again. So thank you so much. Once again, this is being recorded using Adobe Podcast Beta, and the transcript will be on the blog post for this podcast. Coming up a couple weeks now is Photoshop World. It's going to be online. Hopefully the last time it's going to be online, but it's online. And I'll be there teaching two classes. One on, so you've done air show, what do you do next in aviation photography? The other one is using masking to finishing your story. New classes, new images, and really some new thoughts, new techniques, new gear. And I hope whether you're new to Photoshop World or what I have to offer or an old pro or anywhere in between, head to the links that you'll find there on like my social media, on Instagram or on Twitter, X, Twitter, and Threads. And I'd love to see you in class. It's going to be really, really great. I appreciate you that have already signed up and reached out. I'm in the throngs of making these classes. They're going to be really good. So just be saying so, of course, but I think they're going to be great. So thanks. Also want to thank my good friends at Bedford Camera, bedfords.com. They're also got the PhotoCon coming up here in a month. Another great, really great opportunity to socialize, meet people, get inspired, get energized. They always have amazing show specials. And believe it or not, you show up and say MOOSE, you're still going to see that discount after you pay the bill. So Bedfords.com, those folks are great. They support what we do and support the Moose Podcast. So thank you ever so much. I'm going to get into this week's episode. A Professional Is. Starts off by going back a ways. I was either a junior or senior in high school, going to a Nikon event with my best friend, Roger. I know he's going to email me later on today to tell me if we were juniors or seniors in high school. I don't remember. I remember I drove. That's about it. But yeah, this is a long time ago. I remember it was a week's pay to get in. So to me back then it was a lot of money. And we drove down to Santa Ana to your basic kind of photo seminar, except for it wasn't. It was pretty new stuff back there in the 70s. And went into the conference room, the hotel, and you walked in the door, and at the back of the room was this entire huge wall of slide projectors. For those who don't know what a slide projector is, it was a machine that if you had a carousel, you could either you could do 120 images. Most of them only did 70. And I don't remember how many projectors they had up against that wall. I want to say it was 16. I'm sure Roger will email me that. His memory is so much better. That's why he was our best man at our wedding as well. Really great memory, great guy. Anyway, you could hear them humming. You could see all the chords. You could see this big wall. You see this giant screen that's basically going from wall to wall in the front. And, well, this was kind of, like I said, big deal back then. People weren't doing presentations every other day across the world. And the room was packed. And just to give you a reference, time reference, the photograph on the book that you were presented, you were given a lot of materials. This is the days before the internet, so all the materials were printed really nice. And Nikon has always done an amazing job and has never spared a dime in their printed materials. But the cover was a shot of the Saturn rocket taking off. Yeah, we're talking about Apollo days. And the gear, the main gear back then was the F2. That's Foxtrot 2. It shot film. I'll be honest, I was wide-eyed, totally, I was super, super green. At that point in time, I believe I had just got my F2. I might have been shooting Minolta back then, but we went in, we got our seat, we got all the materials, spiffs and all that good stuff, and they had that usual table of all those incredible Nikon pieces of gear that just make you go, wow, especially if you're a high school student. And there wasn't a whole lot of young people there. They were mostly older folks. And we got in the chairs, and first couple images started to appear on the screen. And one of the presenters was a guy named Trevor Reyes, and I'll always remember how he greeted us, because after that, everything else was kind of a blur, because the first thing he said just set my mind to spinning. It still does. And he asked the general question, what's your definition of a professional photographer? People, a number of people said the usual, and they make money from it, blah, 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 have a big client base, blah, 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 go to work every day to take pictures, blah, blah, blah. And he said, yeah, those are all very valid answers, very much the typical answers. But he said, my definition of a professional is one who takes his photography seriously. And that just really just like rang my bell. Oh, why did it ring my bell? What was it that really just kind of knocked me off? And why am I doing a podcast to tell you about this? There's a number of reasons. One, I get tired of seeing all these things being professional technique that, pro quality, yeah, just right off the bat, I have adopted that definition of professional, one who takes it seriously, to heart. So a lot of those things, too. Then a lot of people push around that thing, they're a professional, but when I see, one, the quality of their product, and two, the consistency of that professional product, I'm like, yeah, that's not professional. But more importantly, and this is really getting to the heart of it, is that, and I had a couple emails again this week from folks, heart goes out to them, but they basically were told they should, just like I was when I first went to work for a photographer, that I should go back to carpentry because I wasn't a professional. And these folks were like, they were looking for, I guess, for myself to say, no, that person who told you that was wrong. You are a professional. And I did. But I told them in short email terms, that my definition of professional is one who takes it seriously. And they all got back to me, and they go, well, and a number of things, but basically said, how does that work? And I told them, I said, the number of times that I have done a job the very best I could with the best quality gear, with the best service, the best photographs, and the client was 100% satisfied that I didn't get paid for, there's a few of them. And understand that when I say I didn't get paid for them, it's because I didn't ask for any pay. I didn't ask for any pay. I just did not one, but 2 jobs this past weekend, 2 shoots that I didn't ask them to pay me. I returned the kindness and actually paid them on the fact that it was my gas, my time. And I still consider everything I did very professional in the way I prepared, the way I presented myself, the way that we conducted the shoots, time spent, and most importantly, the consistency and quality images that got delivered. Now, explaining this to folks in email, as you know, emails have it's just black and white. You can't hear any inflection in any of the words. You don't know if, someone is being sarcastic or honest or what. And I'm here to frickin' tell you, I'm being dead serious honest, that the vast majority of folks that like yourself, who I have the honor and great fun to work with when it comes behind the camera, I consider you all to be professionals because you take it seriously. That doesn't mean you're not having fun. That doesn't mean you're not failing. Doesn't mean you're not getting paid. It's not what it's about. Photography is so much about an attitude and a confidence that, people, I don't know how this got started, assume a professional photographer is really confident and never makes mistakes and everything comes out perfectly. It's like, whoa, stop the train on this one, because that's about as far-fetched from reality as can be. Professionals can go down in flames just like an amateur. The only problem is amateurs, they say, yeah, I'm just an amateur. Professionals, all these excuses come out, which instantly tells you they're not really a professional. Because if you take it seriously, that means you're going to pony up when you say, I screwed up, and you say, I screwed up. But when it comes to improving your photography, and that's what this podcast, you got to believe, is all about. My job here is to lead the horse to water. You've got to go the rest of the way. And I'm here to be your cheerleader. I'm here to give you what insights life's been good enough to share with me that I can share with you, so you can share your visual story. But it's really important to understand that what other, especially photographers, say about you and your photography, you really have to learn to just take it with a grain of salt. Just basically blow it off. Something that I've always been really bad at. You have to. There's so many people looking to knock you down so they feel better. You've got to realize that. As my good friend Roger has told me more than one occasion, pioneers always have arrows in their back. If you are that person who is going out all the time and shooting and sharing, you're not going to always hit a home run. There's times you're going to strike out. People are going to tell you both times, if they like you or not, whether you got a home run or you struck out. Ignore it. You got to go with what your gut tells you, what you feel inside you have accomplished or not accomplished, what you can do better or what you didn't do at all. So professionalism, it is a term that is used so loosely. I would encourage you not to use it. Just think about it. Put it in the back of your head. When you have that passion that you want to go photograph, whatever that subject might be, that trip you're planning, maybe shooting that birthday party, that family party, that wedding, some professional event, something that you're getting paid for monetarily or just with a big thanks. Take it seriously. Do all your pre-planning. Do experiments with your camera. Push the envelope. So when you show up to that event, You are putting your best foot forward. You are giving it a seriously your best effort. And if you do that, whether you use the term or not, you are being a professional. And that is really what photography is all about, is putting that best foot forward. And realize that the next day, you probably could take another step. You could probably be a little bit better. That means you'll be a little bit more professional the next day if you take what you did the last day seriously. That's really what it's all about, folks. And if you do that with a big smile and you have fun, this profession will take you a long way in your lifetime. It's up to you completely. It's totally in your wheelhouse how you want to make those clicks happen. I just want to encourage you to make those clicks and share those clicks. The world's a better place because of them and because of you and your passion. You folks have a great week. Thanks for dropping by. And remember to make every click your story.